On the 10th year of dating Shinyuza, he proposed to me. He was a powerful CEO in the city's elite circles, yet in front of me, he was like a child. He was a perfectionist, but he was willing to keep an ugly tattoo for me. He was afraid of heights, but he took me on the Ferris wheel again and again. I thought we would grow old together. Until a week before the wedding, his young assistant, Rong Mianmian, sent me a video. In the video, the gardenia tattoo on the man's back was particularly striking. Within 2 seconds, Rong Mianmian retracted the video. Sorry, Ms. Lan, I'm so embarrassed, I sent it to the wrong person, It's okay, just be careful next time. Her chat window kept showing typing, but no other messages came through. What Rong Mianmian didn't know was that before she could retract it, I had already saved the disgusting video. With a heavy heart, I pressed play. Just one look, and my eyes burned with tears. In the video, 2 people were intertwined on a large bed, changing positions, indulging in primal pleasure. The repulsive images and ambiguous sounds flooded my mind, disturbing my thoughts. Even before the man's face was visible, I recognized him. It was my fiancé. The extremely ugly gardenia tattoo on his back was one I had personally inked 10 years ago. After some time, Shinyuza, holding Rong Mianmian, slowly exhaled a smoke ring. There was still a hint of redness around his eyes. Why is she so overbearing? I told her not to push herself so hard, but she never listens to me. The woman's face was 7 parts similar to mine. She leaned against Shinyuza, her fingers tracing circles on his tan skin. A strong woman like Ms. Lan probably only cares about the company. After all, she's the vice president. Shinyuza's gaze darkened, his voice slightly hoarse after the intimacy. But I don't like her like that. How great would it be if she were as sweet and compliant as you? So, do you like Mianmian? Yes. Will you always like Mianmian? Shinyuza kissed Rong Mianmian's lips again, pulling her close under the covers. Of course, I'll always be good to you. My heart felt like it was being squeezed tight, the pain was unbearable. I first met Shinyuza in high school. Back then, I was a terror across all 3 grades. With a sharp short haircut and smoky eye makeup every day, I was the bad student in the teacher's eyes and the troubled youth in the parents' eyes. Everyone avoided me like the plague, except for Shinyuza. Once, when I skipped class, I fell while climbing over a wall and landed in his arms. I apologized and made a quick getaway. But after that, he followed me around like a lovesick puppy. I found it strange and tried my best to avoid him. Until the 3rd time we met, I was furious. Why are you following me? Don't you have anything else to do? The boy across from me scratched his head, smiling brightly. Hi, I'm Shinyuza. I like you. I had heard of him. Shinyuza. Good looking, good grades, the dream guy for many girls at school. At the time, I only cared about having fun and didn't understand romance. I repeatedly rejected his advances. But the more I pushed him away, the closer he got. He skipped class with me, went shopping with me, and even got 3 ear piercings for me. He was willing to be my shadow, and I gladly accepted. I treated him as free labor until one day, on a whim, I decided I wanted to be a tattoo artist. I shared the idea with Shinyuza, and he fully supported it, declaring he'd be my first client. I loved gardenias the most, so I picked up the tattoo gun and put the needle to his most beautiful back muscles. But I was too confident and accidentally left a bloody mess on Shinyuza's back. The blood kept flowing, and I couldn't stop it no matter what. Layer after layer of gauze soaked through, and blood seeped onto my fingertips. I cried so hard out of panic, and Shinyuza couldn't wipe away my tears fast enough. I was young and ignorant then, thinking that too much blood loss meant death. But Shinyuza was so good, I didn't want him to die. So, I cried even harder. Shinyuza smiled tenderly and reached up to ruffle my hair. I don't even hurt. Why are you crying? As long as it's a tattoo from you, I love it. The warm sun shone down, the boy's lashes trembled slightly, his eyes brimming with shimmering light. I usually didn't like people touching me, but that one time, my heart skipped a beat. That was my first taste of a flutter in my heart. From then on, I put down the tattoo gun, grew out my hair, opened my textbooks, and stopped being like the old Lan Ji. He tutored me, and became the unflappable student again. We seemed to have a common goal, moving forward together with an unspoken understanding. After college entrance exams, naturally, Shinyuza became my boyfriend. On my 18th birthday, he claimed me completely. Our first taste of the forbidden fruit was both painful and intoxicating for both of us. Whispering between kisses, Shinyuza leaned in and kissed my lips. Lan Ji, I love you. Every time we were intimate, he loved it most when I touched that bumpy gardenia tattoo. Later, I half-jokingly asked Shinyuza, you were so popular back then, so many girls were chasing you. Why did you choose me? He curved his lips and smiled at me. Liking someone is just liking someone. From the moment I met you, I knew I could never escape. But the boy who smiled and promised to marry me at 17 was in someone else's bed at 27. It was late when I got home. The cold light hitting the bright red character on the wall was particularly jarring, making me feel utterly ridiculous. A sound came from the entryway, followed by a cool, low voice. Honey, I missed you. Before I could turn around, a warm hand covered my abdomen. Shinyuza walked closer, burying his head in my neck, whining playfully. His warm breath, mixed W. It the scent of YSL floral perfume, hit me, making me want to gag. I turned and pushed Shinyuza away, covering my nose and coughing. I was sensitive to smells, especially perfume, and he knew that. Seeing my reaction, he quickly took off his jacket and threw it aside. I had a client dinner tonight. Their perfume must have been too strong and rubbed off on me. Shinyuza, I wanted to believe you, but why were there patches of lipstick on your collar? Shinyuza, you know I'm a detail-oriented person, so why did you leave so many clues? Making me constantly aware of what a fool I was. After I recovered, I spoke as if casually. Do you remember our high school classmate, Guhi? Yeah, I remember. She was your friend, like the class clown. What about her? I smiled. She's not happy at all now. Why? She just married a year ago, and her husband cheated. She could have easily walked away, but unfortunately, she's pregnant. She's stuck between a rock and a hard place. Shinyuza, good thing we don't have a baby. Right now I can still help Guhi. Otherwise, if something like this happened to us, she and I would just be crying together. Shinyuza paused, as if sensing something, and tucked a strand of hair behind my ear. Gee, I will only ever love you. As if that wasn't convincing enough, he added, that's something I decided when I was 17. Shinyuza, so in your mind, are love and sex two different things? The words were on the tip of my tongue, but I swallowed them back. The next day, Shinyuza said his buddies were throwing him a bachelor party, a last night of freedom before the wedding. He wouldn't let me go, saying it was a man's last romance. Actually, I knew Shinyuza's friends and their wives. After being together for so long, our social circles were completely intertwined. I asked around, and none of them were out singing karaoke with Shinyuza. I was so angry I laughed. So eager to indulge. It was 1 a.m. and he still wasn't back. I called Shinyuza, but all I got was a busy signal. It wasn't until the 4th time that he finally answered. His voice was slightly tired and hoarse. Baby, why are you still up so late? Shinyuza, what are you doing? Baby, I told you, I'm out singing with my buddies right now. Noisy rock music blared through the phone, making my head ache. I suddenly wondered if all those times he supposedly stayed out all night were actually spent indulging in pleasure with someone else. My heart felt like it was clenched by a large hand, the pain so bad I couldn't breathe. The next second, my suspicion was confirmed. Amidst the deafening noise, I could faintly hear a sweet, delicate female voice. Help me take it off, okay? After some rustling sounds, Shinyuza's breathing quickened slightly. Baby, they're calling me up to sing a couple of songs now. I have to go. Wait for me, baby. Hubby will take you somewhere nice to eat when I get back. Before I could speak, he hung up. At the same time, Ro Mian Mian sent a photo. In the photo, Shinyuza was sitting on the edge of a bed, talking on the phone, revealing his toned waist. Scattered around the bed were torn pieces of lingerie and contraceptives. One of Rong Niannian's hands was also in the shot. She flashed a peace sign, seemingly in good spirits. On her thumb, she wore an ill-fitting ring. It was 2 sizes too big for her thumb. It was the wedding ring I'd waited 2 months for. She sent another message. Oh, and Mr. Shin really likes me in little white lace. Want the link, Sister Lon? I suppressed the bitterness and screenshot both the photo and the message. Where's the ring? The next day, I looked at his fair, slender fingers and spoke. There was a distinct red mark around Shinyuza's long middle finger. The place where the engagement ring used to be was now bare. I was afraid of losing it if I wore it, so I put it away for safekeeping. I said lightly. Why, then give it to me now, I'll keep it for you. It would be bad if you really lost it. He visibly panicked, then composed himself. Actually, it's fine if I lose it. I can buy you a bigger, shinier one, baby. Shinyuza, if you ever stop loving me, you have to tell me. I'll let you go. But if I find out you're with someone else on my own, I can't guarantee I won't do something you'll regret. As I said these words, a metallic taste rose in my throat, and my voice trembled slightly. Shinyuza took my hand. Gee, don't overthink things. How could I be with someone else? Why are you always like this? Ever since we got together, I've felt like you've never trusted me. Stop doubting me, okay? The person I loved was right in front of me, but how? Could I feel no joy at all? I should have been angry, questioning him hysterically about why he was sleeping with someone else, to salvage my pathetic dignity. But thinking about it, I felt there was no point. I forcefully shook off his hand, walked into the guest room, and locked the door. Go to sleep, I'm tired. Just as I was about to leave, I heard Shinyuza's phone vibrate. I was standing close to the phone and saw it at a glance. It was from Rong Nian. Honey, sleeping alone is so lonely. I wish you were here with me. A crack appeared on Shinyuza's handsome face when he saw the message. He snatched the phone in a panic, clutching it tightly. No, what's she doing? I barely know her, why would she send me this? Trying to make my baby misunderstand me, isn't she? I stared straight at him, watching him backtrack. Then prove it to me. Seeing he couldn't evade, he grudgingly opened the chat history with Rong Mian. The chat history was empty, only the message she had just sent remained. Shinyuza sent a question mark. She replied instantly, and retracted the previous message. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I sent it to the wrong person. I was supposed to send it to my boyfriend. ND. A look of relief washed over Shinyuza's face. He showed me his phone. See, baby? I told you she sent it to the wrong person. You have to believe me. How could I ever betray my baby? Looking at his face, I suddenly felt weary. Isn't being faithful the most basic requirement in a relationship? Shinyuza, I worked myself to the bone, just wanting the company to do better, just wanting you to have an easier life. But you say I'm cold, that my heart isn't with you. Countless lonely nights, you left me at home and went out carousing. Ask yourself, what have you done to make me feel secure? I'm busy every day too. Entertaining clients is to earn more money, to give you a better life. Why don't you understand me? Can't you be a little more understanding? Being with you is exhausting. A tearing pain ripped through my chest. I couldn't hold back the flood of emotions any longer and burst into tears. Then go find someone else. Find a woman who is sweet and compliant, someone who can fulfill all your fantasies. You're being really unreasonable today. Shinyuza said that and left. We ended on bad terms. That year, he said he wanted to build a successful career. So I tied my long hair up and pinned it back. I accompanied him from a cramped rental apartment to a company with over 1,000 employees. I walked this road with him for 10 years. But now, he doesn't want me anymore. Shinyuza left his mark on my heart, then withdrew without hesitation. The hole I left on his body years ago was now piercing my heart, raw and bloody, completely mangled. The one stuck in the past, unable to move forward, was always just me. Shin Yusa, knowing you'd end up with someone else, why did you provoke me in the first place? Shin Yusa hadn't contacted me all day. But Rong Mianmian asked to meet me, said she wanted to give me a wedding gift. At the coffee shop, Rong Mianmian sat across from me, wearing light makeup. Sister Lan, we look so alike. Do yo? You think I could be your long-lost sister? Don't disgust me. But thanks to your face, I'm able to be so happy now. I scoffed, looking at the sweetly smiling Rong Mianmian, and asked, when did it start? About the second week after I joined? It's been over 3 years. She seemed pleased and continued talking. At first, he was quite resistant. He righteously refused me, saying he had to stay pure for you. I just used a few tricks. All I did was wear some clothes in your style and say some things you often say, and he was hooked. A man's true feelings? That's all they amount to. Saying he loved you endlessly, yet wasn't he easily won over by me? Looking at her confident expression, I laughed out loud. Is that so? Then you're quite pathetic. In the end, you're just a tool for someone else's pleasure. Rong Mianmian seemed as if her deepest insecurity was exposed, desperate to prove herself. So what? The one he can't leave now is me. Who would always like a stiff, uptight block of wood? The future Mrs. Shin can only be me. Oh, this is my wedding gift to you. Hope you like it, sister. Rong Mianmian pulled out a pregnancy test result and slapped it on the table. Seeing this, my head swam and my heart completely collapsed. Wow, Shin Yusa is so careless, letting that bitch get pregnant with his child too. Oh, absolutely not. But I have my ways. Rong Mianmian caressed her flat stomach, as if looking at a rare treasure. It could indeed ensure she's taken care of for the rest of her life. You should leave on your own. Leaving gracefully is better for everyone. What wealthy families value most is bloodline. She looked at me with the air of a victor, sure of her win. I didn't respond. I stood up and walked over to her. I raised my hand, grabbed her hair, and slapped her face, left and right. See? He told you I wasn't to be messed with, but you just had to jump around in front of me. You like being a mistress, don't you? Why? Are you so weak when it comes to taking a hit? She struggled to get away from me, but it was no use. I put quite a bit of force into each slap. The people around initially wanted to step in and stop it. But remembering the outrageous things Rong Niannian had just said, they chose to stand back and watch. A mistress flaunting herself in front of the real woman? She deserved to be hit. After a dozen or so slaps, Rong Niannian's face instantly swelled up, no longer alluring and pretty as before. Rong Mianmian mumbled with her lips, trying to say something, but only guttural sounds came out. Shin Yusa must have heard the commotion and pushed his way through the crowd. Seeing his mistress, whom he spent nights with, beaten into a pulp, anger surged. Who did this to her? Are you looking for death? Seeing my face, Shin Yusa stopped his hand mid-reach, curled his fingers, and pulled his arm back. Wife, why did you hit her? She's just an employee. If there are work issues, talk about them properly. Why resort to violence? It's completely inappropriate. As vice president, you should be more considerate of your employees. He made excuses for her, using me as a shield. I raised my hand and slapped Shin Yusa across the face as well. You disgust me. His face was full of disbelief. His face was slapped sideways, and vivid finger marks appeared on his fair, handsome face. I turned and walked away. The next day, I came to the office as usual, working methodically. I really envy Ms. Lan. To marry such a great man, handsome, rich, and so in love with her. Rong Mianmian and a close colleague were chatting nearby. The swelling on her face had mostly gone down, though you could still faintly see a few red marks. I looked up at her, my eyes filled with coldness. She was scared into silence by my gaze, but the colleague beside her continued babbling. Actually, I feel like you and Mr. Shin are really a good match. The Alpha CEO and his delicate W. Ife, so compatible. Ms. Lan is too strong, always wanting to be on top. Anyone with her would be exhausted to death. Rong Mianmian looked smug, then pretended to be kind, reminding her colleague. Don't say that. If Ms. Lon hears, she'll be unhappy and give you extra tasks, which will keep you busy. They fell silent and quietly walked away. I kept a poker face, but my heart was riddled with holes. I worked all day until night fell, and I felt my mouth and throat were dry. I rubbed my aching lower back and got up to get some water from the pantry. Strange noises came from the pantry. My hand froze, I held my breath and listened intently. She's too cold, completely uninteresting. I never realized before, you're so passionate. Daring to do this with me in broad daylight. Mr. Shin will belong to someone else soon, and Mian Mian can't bear to be apart from you. Don't worry, as long as you're a good girl, there will always be a place for you by my side. Also, lift your leg higher. Shin Yuza's voice was low and hoarse, full of magnetism. Your face. I can't get enough of it. Really? Then you shouldn't miss out on me. Hearing this, my stomach churned uncontrollably. Honestly, I'm even thinking about whether I should marry her. After so many years of trying to make it work, it's still not right. She's changed so much over the years, not like the bright Lanji she used to be. Exactly. She even hit me. I'm really worried Mr. Shin will suffer after he marries her. Intense hatred surged in my chest. My body trembled, I clenched my fists tight. Shin Yuza and Rong Mian Mian doing this in the pantry. It was betrayal, and it was an insult to me. Since they were so blatant about it, there was no need to preserve any last shred of decency. I started recording and threw the door open. All right, then let's not get married. The intimate atmosphere was shattered. Shin Yuza was startled by the sudden noise and quickly separated from Rong Mian Mian. He was at a loss, his face turning pale. Looking at the camera pointed at him in my hand, he stammered. Wife, what? I didn't mean. In her panic, Rong Mian Mian grabbed Shin Yuza's jacket, draped it over herself, and clung to his arm, complaining to me. How can you be so rude? Don't you know how to knock? Mr. Shin, look at her. She feigned sobbing, as if she'd suffered a great injustice. This time, Shin Yuza didn't play along. He forcefully shook off the arm she was clinging to. Unprepared, she was caught off guard and fell to the floor. Shut up! You're making my head ache. What do you think you are? Did I tell you you could speak? She was startled, her delicate face full of disbelief. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. Shin Yuza furrowed his brow and walked towards me. Stop it, okay? We're about to get married. Why are you acting like a child? You're 27, and you've lived with me for so many years. Who else would want you if you left me? I put distance between us. So? Just because we've been together for a long time? That gives you the right to hurt me recklessly, deceiving and betraying me again and again? Did you really think my heart wouldn't hurt? What did you take me for? Shin Yuza, you're a damn piece of garbage. Then let's just wait and see who can't live without the other. Ignoring his distress, I slammed the door and left. 10 years of love, ending completely today. The tearing away of feelings was painful. The hopes I had built up little by little were shattered and crushed by the person I loved most. The pain made it hard to breathe. I sat by the river, letting the biting cold wind howl and whip across my face. Across the river, the Ferris wheel turned slowly. Every year on my birthday, Shin Yuza would drag me to ride the Ferris wheel. At the moment the fireworks bloomed, we only had eyes for each other. They say couples who kiss at the very top of the Ferris wheel will be together forever. Lan Ji, when I make something of myself, I'll marry you, okay? I'll be good to you my whole life. I love you. Year after year, without fail. In the 10th year, the Ferris wheel still followed its path, but the person beside me was gone. Things were the same, but the people had changed. Deleting the memories from my photo album, one by one. Him holding me in the rental apartment, making promises of a lifetime. Him proudly holding my hand, introducing me to his friends one by one. This is my wife. Hurry up and call her sister-in-law. Him flying back overnight to make me ginger brown sugar tea because of a stomach ache. The last one was the pantry. Shin Yuza was good to me, that was true. His cheating was also true. I still couldn't understand why people's hearts change once they get rich. Or perhaps, I never truly knew his heart. The screensaver was still that extremely ugly gardenia. I gently brushed the screen, not realizing my hand was covered in icy tears, until I could no longer hold back the bitterness and sobbed uncontrollably. I didn't come home all night. My phone had several new messages. They were from Shin Yuza. What happened yesterday was my fault. I've already fired her. You won't see her at work anymore. All right, I was wrong. Stop being difficult, okay? I'm apologizing. I won't do it again. After we get married, we'll have a good life. Where are you? Can I come find you? I miss you. Don't ignore me. Before these messages, our chat history was filled with dense green bubbles, all from me. I gave a self-mocking laugh and blocked and deleted him. As soon as the hair salon opened, I walked in. Miss, your hair is so beautiful, so black and thick. It must have taken a lot of effort to maintain it. Are you sure you want to cut it short? Yes. In the days that followed, I took my life back. I completely emptied my mind, no longer thinking about anything else. I picked up a tattoo gun and tattooed my name onto a toy bear, though it was still crooked and too ugly to show anyone. I cut my hair short and realized that blunt short hair suited me best. I traveled to many places alone, wishes I had made for myself before I met him. I used to think doing what I liked was difficult. Afraid he would blame me, afraid he would ignore me, afraid he would stop liking me. But once I took that step, I realized it was incredibly simple. After 10 years, I felt like I had become the bright Lonji again. Even in certain moments, I would still unintentionally think of Shinyuza. Until I gradually became numb, no longer feeling anything. I saw Shinyuza again a month later. I was standing on the company's top floor, smoking a cigarette. Faint footsteps sounded behind me. Shinyuza walked over tentatively. Seeing it was me, he seemed slightly surprised. His eyes were red, and he looked much thinner. Wife, I miss you so much. Where have you been all these days? I sent you so many messages, and you didn't reply. I was really worried about you. I was afraid I'd never find you again. My heart felt so anxious. He walked closer, reached out to take my hand, but froze when he saw how I looked. You cut your hair? And, you're smoking again. You promised me you wouldn't. I didn't look at him, looking down at the traffic flowing in the streets below. Lights blinking on and off, indistinct. What, do I need your permission to cut my hair? He looked at me, his lips mumbled. Finally relented, as if compromising. All right, fine. Whatever makes you happy. I like my wife no matter what she looks like. The gentle night breeze felt nice on my face. And brought me some peace. I suddenly spoke. Do you want children? Of course I do. Ever since I've been with you, I've been looking forward to our life after marriage. If my baby gives me our baby, wouldn't I be the happiest man in the world? I curled my lips into a sneer. Congratu. Lathians. You're a baby daddy now. In the swirling smoke, Shinyuza stood frozen. You marry her. Let's divide the company shares and part ways amicably. After a long time, he came back to his senses and said anxiously, What are you talking about? I always used protection. There's no way there could be a mistake. Baby, the mother of my child can only be you. I saw you were pretty happy at the time, weren't you? Why are you denying it now that your pants are on? Also, I'm a germaphobe. Stay away from me. Shinyuza lowered his eyes, his thick lashes trembling slightly. He took a few steps back, but couldn't bring himself to leave. Looking pitiful, completely different from the man in the video. It's me, it's my fault. I've already made her disappear from our lives. I promise you, that child won't happen. Don't worry, it won't threaten you, baby. This big company is the result of our combined effort over so many years. Gee, you don't want internal conflicts, do you? Please give me one last chance, okay? After so many years together, you're far from just anyone in my heart." His voice softened, barely a whisper. Like he was coaxing me. Like a dog wagging its tail, begging for scraps. It was immensely satisfying. Just a few days ago, he was laughing with someone else saying I wasn't worthy. Filth, have some shame. I turned and walked away. After that, Shinyuza was incredibly good to me, as if something had clicked. He bought an entire amusement park for me and named it after me. He planted gardenias in every corner of the company. Every day at work, I could smell the refreshing scent of the flowers. He would also place a cup of warm strawberry milk on my desk every morning. In those days when we only had each other, strawberry milk was the only treat in our tough times. From small details to grand gestures, he was meticulous. As if to tell the whole world how much Shinyuza loved Lanji. Everyone was praising Shinyuza as a love-struck fool, a doting husband. Everything he had promised me, he fulfilled one by one. It turned out his grand promises weren't just empty words. He simply hadn't meant them. I had stopped liking strawberry milk a long time ago. I let him make a scene, treating him like a pet. Neither welcoming nor rejecting him, maintaining a normal social distance. We continued like this, lukewarm, for a few months. Then Shinyuza came looking for me. 3 in the morning. The darkness outside the window seemed to swallow everything. I was still processing company contracts, not yet asleep. A faint sound came from the entryway. Shinyuza reeked of alcohol. It was a stark contrast to his usual cool and dignified demeanor. Seeing me, his eyes turned even redder. I furrowed my brow, about to close the door, but his arm blocked the doorway. Before I could say anything, he pinned me against the wall. A dull pain shot through my back. His arms were braced against the wall, the cramped space filled with the unpleasant smell of alcohol. His face was flushed. He leaned in to kiss me. The moment the stray hairs on his forehead brushed my cheek, I struggled to break free. I pulled away and slapped him hard. I was so angry I laughed. What are you putting on a show of deep affection for? Illegal entry, criminal intent. Don't make me sue you. Finger marks appeared on his face, making it look even redder. He stared at me blankly for a long time. What do I have to do for you to like me again? Your indifference makes me feel. I feel like such a failure. During this time, I loved you desperately, using every means I had, but you were unmoved. Can you please give me some reaction? Even if you're angry, even if you hit me, just let me know that you still care about me. Lan Ji, 10 years. How can you just stop loving me like that? From the moment you decided to cheat and chase cheap thrills, there was no longer a possible ITY for us. In that moment, Shinyuza seemed to have all the strength drained from his body. He slid down into the corner, letting tears stream down his face. I clapped my hands together and dialed his secretary's number. In less than an hour, he rushed over, apologizing to me as he dragged Shinyuza away. Even as the secretary was about to leave, Shinyuza was still murmuring I love you. Getting complaints from the neighbors because of his antics wasn't worth the trouble. The next day, Shinyuza acted as if he had amnesia, not mentioning a word about what happened. He had regained his usual composure. He was carrying a large bouquet of gardenias, waiting for me downstairs at the company. Passers-by turned their heads, all praising his romantic gesture. Seeing me, Shinyuza quickened his pace, but stopped about 5 meters away from me. He was cautious. Gee, you once said you wanted a relationship to start with a bouquet of flowers. Before, I was foolish, I couldn't give you the most basic sense of security. It wasn't until now that I understood, I can't live without you. The past is past. Let's be good together in the future. I swear to you, my future is only with you. Will you be my girlfriend? His deep eyes were full of affection, his thin lips pressed together, waiting for my answer. I had never seen him like this before. I gave a soft smile. Okay. His eyes lit up. He walked over, wanting to take my hand. My smile deepened. The mother of your child is watching from behind. He was rooted to the spot by my words, his face full of disbelief. Rong Mian, with her swollen belly, appeared behind Shin Yuza. Mr. Shin, I still don't have the courage to give up my lover's child. Watching the scene unfold, I laughed out loud. Running off with the baby bump? Playing a real game. Veins pulsed on his forehead, as if he was furious. I told you I'd give you money. Didn't I tell you never to show your face in front of me and my wife? Faye again? Are you sick? Can't you understand simple words? Rong Mian looked utterly wronged, her eyes glistening with tears. But this is your own flesh and blood. Are you really that heartless? I just love you too much. I promise, I'll leave after the baby is born safely, okay? I just don't want my child to be born without a father. Stop putting on airs. Don't you just want money? I even gave you money to get rid of this child. How dare you lie to me? Scolded by Shin Yuza, she burst into tears. But you said you'd always be good to me, Shin Yuza. Don't you have a heart? I gave you everything. I gave you my all. To be with you, I became the lowest kind of person. I gave you my best 3 years, but what about you? Are you an idiot? I have a wife. Stop bothering me, okay? Yes, I'm an idiot. So stupid I actually believed you when you said you loved me. I quickly drew a line. No, this has nothing to do with me. I'm not his wife, don't misunderstand. Shin Yuza was already furious, and hearing my words, he turned his head to question me. I was about to marry you, what else do you want? She was just a bit of fun. I still love you the most. You're the rightful CEO's wife. Shin Yuza's words were cut short by Rong Mian's sudden action. Rong Mian collapsed, groaning on the ground. Looking closely, her white skirt was stained with patches of blood. The scene was chaos. Passers-by who had been gawking at the drama pointed and whispered about the two of them. Many onlookers felt she had it coming. Half an hour later, Rong Mian was carried away on a stretcher by the arriving ambulance, which sped off. Shin Yuza didn't follow. He knelt on the ground, staring blankly at the scattered petals. Gardenias lay scattered on the ground, trampled, a scene of utter disarray. Aren't you pathetic? I told you I had no feelings for you anymore, but you still keep clinging to me. Deluding yourself. Is that interesting? Shin Yuza was still pursuing me. But the baby was born, and the DNA match with Shin Yuza was 99%. Rong Mian sent me a screenshot of the paternity test result, showing off. I told you, I'm the final winner. I curled my lips into a sneer. I screenshot these proofs, then packaged up all the records of Shin Yuza's cheating I had saved and sent them to the company's internal group chat. As soon as the screenshots were sent, the group chat exploded. I knew it was bad, but I didn't expect it to be this bad. Damn, Ms. Lon is really miserable. I thought the boss was some devoted loving husband, turns out it was all just an act. How disgusting. Rong Mian is truly terrible. Knowing she was the mistress and embracing it, she's shameless. Unable to bear the harassment, the two of them left the group chat simultaneously. Rong Mian used some method, I don't know what, and married Shin Yuza. The wedding was solemn and grand, but no one paid attention. But anyone with eyes could see what was really going on. After Shin Yuza married Rong Mian, he seemed like a changed man. He had no heart for work and grew increasingly haggard. The chat logs from that day somehow got spread online and went viral. Public opinion grew increasingly heated. Furious netizens condemned the couple. Even the company's products faced boycotts. The company's stock price plummeted. Many senior executives in the company were dissatisfied with this so-called CEO. At this point, I proposed a series of rescue measures. I had started preparing these measures when Shin Yuza began pursuing me the second time. I didn't expect them to actually be needed. All the shares Shin Yuza held were used to cover losses and handle public relations. Coupled with my management, the company quickly got back on track. By then, Shin Yuza had next to nothing and was forced to resign. He who once held unchecked power in the city's elite circles was now kicked out. Affected by public opinion, his peers didn't dare to hire him. He was too proud and ambitious to live an ordinary life. He stayed home all day, smoking and drinking, indulging in everything. It is said that their life together was utterly chaotic. The last time I saw Shinyuzo was on my way to an important gala. I happened to go back to the company to pick up a document. The moment the car window rolled down, a familiar face came into view. Shinyuzo was skin and bones, with a ring of stubble around his mouth. His hair looked like it hadn't been styled in a long time. Gone was his former elegance and dignity. The gardenia on his back was still noticeable, only now it had several scratch marks. His eyes flashed with a hint of surprise, then dimmed. Gee, I regret it so much. If I could do it again, I would never betray you. I lifted my eyes and gave him a fleeting, indifferent glance. Then I turned to the driver and said, "Don't let irrelevant people waste our time." The driver acknowledged, stepped on the gas, and sped away. I smiled calmly, lifted my skirt, walked in on my heels, and entered the banquet hall. Walking towards my future.